As we've talked about in other videos, playtesting is a crucial part of developing games. It helps game makers know what needs to be fixed and can even suggest how. While playtest results can be submitted in a written or survey form, in this video, we'll cover how to record a solid playtest of a game in development using a microphone and the program OBS. So let's get started. To start out, we need a few things. We need the demo of a game, a microphone, and a program called OBS downloaded onto your computer. OBS, or Open Broadcasting Software, is completely free and fairly easy for beginners to use. Downloading it is as easy as going to the official OBS site and choosing the latest release for your OS. We'll post a link in the description. After the install is complete and the program opens, you'll be launched into the main interface. In the lower right corner of the screen, you will find your settings. Go here first. It is important to note here that OBS is not only a recording program, but it can also be used for streaming. Controls for streaming will work a little differently than recording, but for our purposes, we'll be focusing on the settings for recording your screen. To set up your video in settings, first go to the output section. A few important things in this section. For one, make sure your recording path is correct. This will be where your video saves on your drive, so make sure it's somewhere you'll remember. It's also important to make sure that your video is saved in the format you want the file to be in, whether it's an MP4 or otherwise. Finally, you have your recording quality. The options presented to you will outline not only the quality of the video you record, but the file size it will result in. Note that the higher the quality, the more massive your file will be. For our purposes, we will choose a lower quality, watchable and deliverable, but a smaller file size. We're not done with settings yet. Next, navigate to the audio section. This is where you'll set up your microphone. First, make sure you're recording in stereo. This should be the default option. Next, look for the setting that reads Mic Auxiliary Audio. This is where you can select the microphone you are using to record your voice. Most computers come with a built-in mic, but you can also use a plugged-in USB mic for better quality sound. Finally, the last setting we need to adjust is the resolution of the video. There are two settings here, canvas and scaled resolution. Canvas is the resolution of the video in OBS itself, and scaled resolution refers to OBS's ability to output the video at a different scale. It's best to set both of these values to the native resolution of the display you'll be capturing, in my case 1920 by 1080. The final setting I suggest you change is the hotkeys. Again, there are a lot of settings for streaming here, but we want to focus on the setting for recording. The main buttons you want to map are Start Recording and Stop Recording. With these buttons mapped, you can simply press them to begin and end recording your screen when you're ready. It may also be beneficial to map the pause and unpause buttons as well if you encounter issues during the recording process. Alright, I think we're good to start recording. Exit the settings and go back to the blank canvas, the black screen you saw when opening the program. That black screen is your first scene. We need it to display the gameplay footage on your screen. There are a few ways to do this, but the easiest and most reliable is to record your entire screen. In order to do this, click the plus button with the scene selected and choose Display Capture. You will be prompted to name your new display, which is completely optional, but can help if you're dealing with many elements. Finally, we need to choose the display source. If you're only working with one monitor, you should only have one option for this. So select the source you intend to record. The final step before recording is to make sure that your mic is being recorded. If you selected the right settings before, your mixer section should be displaying your microphone as you speak. It's also where you can adjust the volume of your recordings, and you want to make sure that your mic audio is adjusted so that the meter routinely reaches the top of the yellow zone when you speak in a normal way. And with that, you're ready to start recording. Open the game you want to test and hit the hotkey you selected to start recording. Before you start your gameplay session, do a brief test recording to make sure everything is working. Record a minute of footage, and then go to the folder where you set up OBS to save recordings earlier. Find your test video and watch it back to make sure the screen capture is coming through and your audio can be heard. Once you confirm this, you can start recording your play session for real. While gaming, remember the key points of playtesting, like speaking your inner monologue out loud as you experience the game. When you are done playtesting, hit the stop recording hotkey or the button in OBS, and your video will save. Now you have footage of your playtest. I suggest you review the footage and audio yourself for this final recording again to make sure nothing got messed up during the recording process. And that's about it. You now have your footage to submit. OBS is capable of way more than just this, but this is all you need to record and review your playtest.